Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer and a happy Avani Avitam and its corresponding festivals all across India today. Let's welcome Sriram Seshadri ji. Sriram ji, Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you, sir?
Sir, Namaskaram. I am doing well, and then Namaskaram to all the P Guru's viewers and happy Avani Avitam. In fact, Ashada month, right? The month of Adi,
Yes.
Ashada, and different parts of the country we give a different month. From now till January, every month we have a lot of festival, and then happy festive season to all of us, all of our viewers.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So, Rahul's factory of lies is on overdrive right now. It's churning out one lie after the other. Sir, there is another interesting story that is developing in Bangladesh, and I'll come to that, why I'm drawing parallels here. In Bangladesh, one of the stories that was put out was that Hasina had rigged the elections, which is why Yunus had to be brought in.
Right.
But that is coming now, after a year.
Yeah.
And maybe inside Bangladesh this was given, but basically what it is if I lose, then I am going to cast aspersions on the election procedure. So Rahul Gandhi and the Congress should be the last party who should be talking about the integrity of EVM and other things. These rascals stole the 2009 election. It has been proven.
Yeah.
And now they are saying that BJP is cheating. Come on now. What is wrong with you? Sir, tell us when this lies is going to stop. Sir, there is a long rope. I have heard of long rope. This long rope is almost infinite in length,
sir. Infinite long rope. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, I think I too want to start with this. In fact, that's why I said Rahul's factory of lies when we finalize the topic. Because he is always a shoot and scoot person. Right?
Yes.
He never, stands up for scrutiny. He thinks that because he is privileged, he just shoots and then scoots to the next issue, and then the opponent tries to defend it and etc. Or his own people go and get humiliated and embarrassed in TV studios. Spokesperson gets beaten up, but he just shoots and scoots. The reason I want to talk about this is he is actually taking on, all along what he was doing, Shriyarji, he was taking on BJP, Modi and BJP. He realized that Modi is like Wali from Ramayana, right? The moment he talks about him, he takes 50% of voters with him, of Congress, right? So Rahul actually depletes their voter base every time he talks baseless. Talks about Rafale. Okay, yes, Rafale deal. What did the Modi government do? They went to the court and then said, hey, here is the data. You want to reveal it, because we have an agreement with the Dassault and French government that certain things are confidential, which cannot be disclosed. But I'm not going to stand judge for that. Here is the entire details about Rafale. Went and gave it to the Supreme Court judge, two-member bench, and then told them, if you want, go and disclose it and then make it public, and absolutely fine. Then, at least with Dassault and French government, they will not have a breach of contract because my judicial system intervened and then disclosed these facts. They scrutinized it and then said, there's no scam in this, because they brought the Air Chief Marshal or Vice Marshal, and then, he was taken into evidence, and then he got the evidence. The first time in the history of India, all these happened. And on top of that, what did Rahul say? Supreme Court found Narendra Modi guilty. He went and lied. Thanks to Meenakshi Lekhi, she went and filed a contempt petition, and then immediately he went and apologized. They talk about Veer Savarkar giving an apology, whereas Rahul Gandhi, at least to my mind, about 7 or 8 times he had apologized. My only biggest, anger today is not about what Rahul was lying using that PowerPoint presentation, a brilliant PowerPoint presentation. Someone has created the PowerPoint presentation, but nobody verified it. Rahul should have verified it, but he generally doesn't do that. He doesn't care for the veracity of the data. But what is ECI doing? They just issued a notice to him saying that sign the affidavit on oath, and then so that it becomes an official record. We investigate and then we prove it wrong. Constitutionally, what he has done is a crime, Sri IRG. Misplacing electoral, misleading with, lies or misplacing the facts is a crime. ECI should have issued him a legal notice, not just a oath on, sign an affidavit on oath. It should not be like that. Why Rahul is running away from that? He says that I made it in the public, I presented to the public, I am a public personality, I am an MP, so everything I say is under oath. Bullshit. What he says inside the parliament is only under oath. Or if he goes to a court, then it is under oath. Otherwise, whatever he makes a statement on public platform, it's a rhetorical, political, lie. So let me dissect this, Sri IRG. So let's first dissect the simplest one, where he lied. He said 2024 election, Maharashtra election happened, and after a few months, Maharashtra, assembly election happened. Everybody thought Mahavikas Aghadi will win, and then, BJP will lose, or, probably it's going to be a close contest, whatever it is. BJP won thumping down, okay. They just bulldozed their way. That Mahayuti bulldozed their way into the assembly. So he said, first he said 1 crore voter had been, added between Lok Sabha election and assembly election. And next day he woke up from the other side of the bed, said 80 lakh voters added. Maybe the subsequent day, probably he didn't sleep. He woke up, early in the morning. He used the word, statement. I woke up last night early in the morning or something. If you remember, he made a statement, right? Everybody was, in fact, when he made the statement, I was looking at the security standing behind him. How is he managing not to smile, laugh or smile? Right?
Sir, he
about audience.
Earplugs so that he can't hear what he says.
He can't hear what he says. Okay. So like that, he woke up the next day, in his own dream, and then 60 lakh. Come on, guys, at least be consistent. When you want to lie, be consistent. So let me add the fact. I think nearly 31 lakh voters had been added between the Lok Sabha and assembly election. And every party gets these details. If the party feels that a fake voters had been added, they should actually go and, challenge it. Okay, let me just take a step backward. 2009 Lok Sabha election and then 2009 Maharashtra Assembly election. Nearly 29 lakh votes had been added between these two. That same 5 months time. And Congress won that time. So does it mean that they added a fake voters there? What sort of nonsense he is talking about? Okay, then let's talk to, this is the simplest thing I want to, that itself will bust all his lies. But I don't want to leave it there. Let's take few of those. How does BJP not facing anti-incumbency? What is their magical immunity? He is asking that question. Third time, how can they win? So between 1947 and 84, nearly 37 years, barring a 2-year period where after the emergency, where, the Janata Dal came to power, almost 35, 37 years, Congress won election after election after election in spite of several atrocities, not just in India, across all states. What sort of, magical immunity they had? I don't know. Okay. The second question. So did I lose or I was online when you were?
Oh, no, you were fine, sir. I just had to do an adjustment and I didn't want to do it while you were.
I was just wondering that,
don't worry. You're fine. You're doing fine. Thank you.
Then he talked about choreographed election schedule. And then because of that, and then he says about what is a choreographed election schedule? When Narasimha Rao was Narasimha Rao was a prime minister, and then when Session did not agree for the election dates that Narasimha Rao prescribed, the constitution was amended to add one, instead of chief election commissioner will preside over the election commission, he put one chief election commissioners. Just made a simple amendment with nobody thought consequences of it. Added two more election commissioner into that fray. So they just mocked the constitutional authority of election commission, and that party is coming and saying, oh, choreographed election schedule. In fact, 2024 CARG, I think we covered this. The current election commissioner, when the schedule was drawn, made the election almost like a Friday or a Monday to make it into a long weekend so that the voter turnout will get impacted. Maybe that is the reason BJP lost some of their staunch voter base took leave rather than voting. Maybe that's why they lost, they become a minority, 240 seats. They could have won another 32 seats or 35 seats more. Right, sorry, you wanted to intervene.
Yeah, so see, it doesn't stop with session, Sriramji. During the UPA 2 rule, you had the instance of a guy called Naveen Chawla, who's one of the election commissioners. The CEC is N. Gopalaswamy. And N. Gopalaswamy is on record saying that every time the dates were scheduled or discussed, this guy would go out of the room and take a few minutes and come back and say no or yes, whatever. And his inference was that he is talking to the UPA leadership.
Right, that's right.
And not only that, when he demitted office, I think it was 2009, the first time in the history of India you had elections going on, and in the middle of that, the CEC gets changed. Gopalaswamy steps down, and the person that he complained, Naveen Chawla, becomes a CEC.
That's right.
The 2009 election was a mockery. And these people have the gall. These have the gall to say that now things are being rigged. You guys invented all this stuff.
Precisely.
Sir, over to you.
So, third set of lies that he was talking about. In fact, I'm going to come to Karnataka as a loss because I'm reserving that. But, third set of lies that he was talking about is how does electoral turnout happens after 5 p.m. Does he even know how election casting of votes and booth management happens? He need not even go to election commission to ask about it. All he needed to pick up a phone with their booth agent, one of the booth agent or his own constituency booth agent, and then say, hey boss, tell me how does the election casting happens. The moment someone walks in, they read out the name, so-and-so number, and every election booth agents of every party in that room says, okay, understood. They make a record of it that so-and-so has come in. They check the photo, check the person, or otherwise they immediately raise a dispute. And what election commission does is at 4 p.m., whatever is the number of voter turnout, they declare. And then after the election is over, they declare remaining one. And between that time, 4 p.m., whatever the number of percentage of votes that has been cast, they do that. And normally people either vote in the morning or they come in the evening. So they come and stand in the queue. The moment they are in the queue before 5 p.m., they are eligible to vote. That's what the rules are, rules of the election. What they do is they go and pick up the last person who is standing, and then they give a tokens to all of them. And then the security force, booth agents, everybody is informed, boss, 1005 is the last token that we are given. So hereafter, we are going to take another 1005 voters in this booth will vote. Imagine, let's take for a simple example, Tamil Nadu has about 22,000 or 23,000 booth, and each one of the booth has 1,000 average, about 1,000 voters spending between 4 p.m. and then the next bulletin of final closure. Imagine how many number we are talking about. Easily about 8 to 10% of voting happens in the last 1 hour. So what is he joking about? And he says EC is not giving an electronic data voter list. Bullshit, sir. All he needs to do is talk to his party's, the lowest cadre in the party. Forget about it. A common man can go to the election commission website and then check the the electoral data of each booth wise. They can check it online. You can download it. People like us who do the slicing and dicing of each constituency, we don't get the data from Election Commission in electronic form. We download it from Election Commission website, and we have all the data. If an analyst like me, who doesn't have a war machine, who doesn't have a plethora of hands and legs, can get the entire the India's constituent and electoral list of all the constituencies by booth. I'm not talking about, sir, only at the Lok Sabha constituency level or a state assembly constituency level. By booth, I'm able to get the entire electoral list. If I can get that, why can't a Congress party get that electronically? All they need to do is keep. I have a list of data, and then I know how to go through it. Maybe Rahul Gandhi need to take a lesson on how to read an electronic form. Probably that's where the problem is. Then they talk about CCTV footages are destroyed after 45 days after the election result is declared. What sort of, I want to control my anger and, talk about it. What is he talking about, Sri? Within 45 days, if any dispute, case is filed, that CCTV footage is stored till the case is disposed. It's not destroyed. Only where there are no contentions, then it is destroyed. It's a basic fundamental information he doesn't even know. So let me come to the Karnataka, sir. Karnataka, he talks about Bangalore Central Lok Sabha. Why is he picking this up? I'm telling you, Mahadevpura is one constituency where there is a Hindu majority voter base. It has about 8 assembly constituencies, and then in that 5 are Muslim dominated constituencies, 2 are average split, and then Mahadevpura is a Hindu dominated. So he wants to create a narrative. Okay, let's look at it. He said Congress was winning in all assembly constituencies. He said there are 6 assembly constituencies in Bangalore Central. That itself is wrong. There are 8 assembly constituencies, for his information. Then he said, other than Mahadevpura, Congress won all the other 6 constituencies and all the 5 constituencies only because of Mahadevpura, where there are so many fake voters. And then, because of that, BJP won. Okay, one point I agree with them. Mahadevpura has more number of voters than any other assembly constituency put together, because that's a probably a lot of migrant population are there. Okay, let me talk about it. In 2024 election, sir, I'm just taking a reading out from the Election Commission data, Form 20, and then declaration of us, the result. I'm taking it out. Out of 8 constituencies, 1 second, Saravana Nagar, Congress lead. CV Raman Nagar, BJP wins. Shivaji Nagar, Congress leads. Shanti Nagar, Congress wins. Gandhi Nagar, BJP wins. Rajaji Nagar, BJP wins. Chamrajpet, Congress wins. And Mahadevpura, BJP wins. And each one of that have a significant lead, at least 20-25,000 lead. But BJP wins Mahadevpura with a 114,000 vote lead. That troubles him. So he picked it up, and then he wants to cast aspersions. So out of the 8, 4 Congress leads, 4 BJP leads, and then the BJP leads are higher wherever BJP, except Saravana Nagar, where Congress had a 74,000 lead. Rest of the places, there is about 39,000, 23,000 leads for each one of the parties, right? And then 114,000 difference in Mahadevpura. So that troubles Rahul Gandhi. So I want to just demolish saying that if he's really having all these data to prove, why is he not filing a court case? He's just shooting and scooting in the public media or a press statement, putting up a very large presentation, and then he's trying to create a narrative. So what he understood, Sriram, is taking on Modi and BJP is not working. So cast aspersions that the election itself is rigged. So that two things he's trying to do. Number one, like you talked about, three things probably. Like you talked about Bangladesh, he's trying that formula here. So make it as if, Modi lost the election, rigged it, and then because of that he is a prime minister. Otherwise, Congress would have won probably another 200 more seats. So trying to create that sort of a myth, but nobody is buying this because he is a bunch of lies. The second narrative is trying to create is Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav doesn't even give a damn about Congress. And West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee doesn't consider Congress even exist. In Tamil Nadu, thanks to Stalin, Congress has some lifeline. Of course, Kerala I'm not going to talk about because I'm picking all these because 2025 and 26 elections are happening here. Assam, Congress doesn't even exist in front of Hemanta Biswa Sharma. Hemanta Biswa Sharma has literally done a Tevasam for ceremony for Congress in Shraddh for Congress. So he is trying to create a narrative in such a way, hey boss, I would have won in big numbers had this not been rigged. So give me more seats. So seat bargaining. The third thing that he is trying to do, Sriram, is he is creating a narrative and reasons for his loss, because Rahul Gandhi is a unlucky mascot of Congress. He has been branded even by Congress people saying that they don't have any other choice but to accept him as a leader. But almost like, 2009, post 2009, every election he had lost. Wherever he has led, he had lost. So Revanth Reddy won not because of Rahul Gandhi. When Punjab, when they won the previous term, it was not because of Rahul Gandhi. It was Captain Amrinder Singh. So here it is Revanth Reddy. So there are someone else who actually wins. And Siddaramaiah, because of Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, Congress, they won in Karnataka. Someone else wins their election and Rahul Gandhi takes the credit of it. When they lose it, they put the blame on BJP and Election Commission. That's the formula that is coming up. Rahul Gandhi should actually have a different set of team feeding this information to him. Someone should validate every data that he is presenting in public. Otherwise, he will keep on lying through his teeth. But people will not believe. One day, he will actually talk sense. He will talk the right fact. That also people will discard. Even now, I'm telling you, sir, he indirectly supported SIR. And Election Commission has a great ammunition to go to the court and then say, we want to do SIR across the nation. So 2026 election is going to happen in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, Kerala. We want to do the SIR. We want to verify everything. Only the citizens can vote. I'm sure, like what happened in Bihar, nearly 22 lakh or 29 lakh people or 22 lakh people who are dead or in the electoral rolls removed. 7 lakh people are fake voters. 35 lakh people who had moved out of permanently having their residence elsewhere and hence removed from the electoral list. And that is what is going to happen everywhere. Last but not the least, sir, he actually called out one family in Karnataka saying that these are fake voters. And they actually resurfaced saying that, hey, look, everybody took their voter ID card and then Election Commission went and verified voter ID card. They just displayed and then say, we are alive and we are, legal voters. Likewise, he's talked about, I think some Srivastava. He has
Aditya
UP,
Srivastava from
Aditya
Lucknow.
Srivastava, Lucknow, he has a voter base in UP, Maharashtra and Karnataka. And all these places, he is assuming these people voted for BJP. And on one count also, he is not failing to realize what would have happened if they vote. And this guy, Srivastava, in fact, came onto the social media to say, hey, look, I registered in Lucknow. When I moved my residence, legally I transferred. to Maharashtra. And from there in 2016, when I moved to Karnataka, I legally transferred. So I'm not a fake voter. I have not voted in multiple states. He had come out and then, established. So at least when he picks up the person, at least, shooting and scooting is fine. He picked up a person, he should have verified, at least called them, paid him bribe, and then say, yes, boss, I voted in 3 places. Someone, he should have had his own stooge name coming up there. Instead, he called a, honest citizen who actually exposed Rahul Gandhi. Sir, I want to pause here and then say, I want our viewers to realize why Rahul Gandhi is doing that. Subsequent 3-term electoral loss, 4th term getting into decimation. Haryana Congress was, slated to win, they lost. Maharashtra, they lost. So Bihar also most probably NDA will come in because, that is how the indications are showing. So every state election they are losing. Parliament election they are losing. Congress is becoming insignificant. In fact, India Alliance don't even bother about Congress. Except Tamil Nadu, no India Alliance people are even giving a damn to Congress. Even in Tamil Nadu, I don't know when they are going to, DMK is going to wake up and then throw them out. We don't know. But at least leaders of Congress are thinking Rahul Gandhi is becoming an embarrassment. When Trump made a comment, India is a dead economy, he caught on to it. He also spoke about it. But people like Anand Sharma, Karthi Chidambaram, Shashi Tharoor stood up with the nation and then say, no, it is not a dead economy. What Trump says is bullshit. Without saying that Rahul Gandhi is also bullshitting, they said this. I think Rahul Gandhi is severely impacted. I would have used a different word, but severely impacted and desperate. I think, people are going to discard him. I'll pause here, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I just needed to, 1 second, sir. I need to take care of something. Done.
Yeah.
So, one request to all of our viewers, Sriram Seshadri ji's Pearls of Wisdom, they are supposed to come every Saturday, but if he's traveling or if I'm traveling or some such thing, we usually miss each other. So small request to all of you, the quality of his content and his analysis. First, like the video as soon as you start watching it. Many of you will ask me a valid question. How can I like without watching it? Well, there is a challenge here. P Gurus is not exactly the one that gets a free pass or even just normal lane. We get the slow lane all the time. So I'm not saying that this is because of one or the other. There's a lot of misreporting that happens. We can't stop anybody from saying that. I'm just cutting down so much nonsense here in the chats here today. Because Sriramji, today I'm allowing everybody to comment. Usually what we do is we limit that to only subscribers. Yeah. So that, nonsense doesn't get spewed. Yeah. You see what we are up against. I mean, people can algorithmically game YouTube to think that there is something wrong being discussed here. We are analyzing things. And these are all truth. Anybody can go and check these things. So small request to all of you. Again, please like the video right at the beginning. Now let's go to the second topic, which is the economic impact of Trump's tariffs. They are getting into effect from this Monday. Many grocery stores in the United States are saying, we have so far been absorbing the tariff rate increases. Now we be unable to do that. We will have to pass it on to you. We are very sorry. So the grocery guy, who's the last mile guy, that guy is going to get the heat. Yeah. And they are saying we have no choice. We have to pass on. This is inside the United States. Now let's take a look at what impact it has. Sriram Seshadri ji is a financial analyst. He's a finance guy. He knows his numbers like the back of his hand. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think I want to start, thanking Mr. Trump for doing certain unthinkable that has, he has done. Number one, tariff, okay, his idea of tariff and all is fine. It should be through a proper negotiation. But if he wants to put a barrel on someone's head and then say, accept my dictum, otherwise I'm going to, put you on a tariff which is going to derail your economy. I think, he has tried it with a wrong person called Narendra Modi. Of course, he tried it with, many countries. So what he has done by this is, number one, he has brought in more unity amongst Indians. More unity I want, because already people are united when there is a concern about the nation, when they want to raise up for the nation, they are all united. But he has brought more unity to the nation. Of course, there are some dissenting voice which keeps talking about it. That's okay. That noise let's ignore. But he has brought a lot of unity, including opposition parties started supporting the stand Narendra Modi is taking. And we talked about Rahul for about 20-30 minutes, Sriyaji. He was also forced to say that stand with the country and then say, let's not buckle down for the tariff, imposition, etc. So he too was forced to say that, even though he would have allowed to be, siding with Trump, because when India suffers, Rahul Gandhi is the most happiest person. So, in spite of that, since people are standing up with the nation, I'm not using the word people are standing up with Modi, people are standing up with BJP. I'm talking about people are standing up with the nation, because that's what the spirit that comes in. Second, unthinkable unity of BRIC nations. See, India is the only country which was actually slowing down the BRIC currency. Russia wanted it, China wanted it, Brazil wanted it, South Africa wanted it. India probably was not the country which wanted to destabilize dollar. So India was the only supporting nation that actually stopped this BRIC currency. Now Trump has, triggered that conversation, and they want to probably take this forward. Imagine if BRIC currency comes, or forget about even BRIC currency is not coming in. If the BRICS nation decide that their trade will happen on local currency, like a barter system or a local currency equivalent, dollar is going to get impacted a lot, because these 5 economies make up nearly 44% of the global economic activity. The G7 is half of it. G7 one day used to be the 7 largest economies of the world. Today, these 5 countries of BRICS alternate to G7 is double the economic size of the G7 nations. And Trump I think the European nation realize it. UK realizes that's why they are going out with a normal trade agreements, free trade agreements with India, China, and other countries. Japan realizes that. But because US is not realizing it, or because of the ego. So why is Trump trying to do this? The camouflage of India funding Russia-Ukraine war, creating a cash flow for Russia by buying the oil, is a bullshit. He knows that. Trump absolutely knows that. Because the European Union, China, Turkey, everybody buys fuel by a piped gas or piped line, and only they have a sore eyes when it happens through the ship. And that's where the problem. And in fact, refined Nayara Energy refines it in Gujarat, sells it back to the European Union and to the US. They buy that. They didn't have a qualms about it. If India had not bought this fuel from Russia, our per barrel cost, which is ranging about $84, Brent crude is somewhere in the 84-87 range, would have skyrocketed to 220, 240 for the last 2-3 years. What would have happened? It would have created a hyperinflation. It would have created a world chaos. In fact, India, Trump and the entire European world should be thanking India for buying. And of course, we made about 27-28 billion savings because of that. And, we had revenue because of that. That's all, different game altogether. So what is that impact that this is going to create? Will it have an impact on, Indian economy? For sure. Definitely. Because nearly about 40 to 47, 44, 45 billion dollar is a US bound exports from India. So if it hits about 50% tariff on that, it's going to have an impact to in a short range, it's going to have an impact to our GDP by about 0.25%. I want to reiterate the term 0.25%. and we are growing at a 6.57 percentage, it's going to just hit it by about 0.25. It's a major impact, no doubt about it, 0.25. So instead of 7 percentage growth, you are going to have a 6.75 percentage growth. Definitely, it is a major bottleneck, but that can be circumvented, because which are all the industries that is going to get severely impacted? Textile, jewelry and gems and carpets, maybe leather. These are the 3-4 sectors. The sectors not getting impacted are pharma and electronics, because Trump conveniently did not impose this tariff on pharma and electronics, because he knows it is going to hit them very badly. And more importantly, it's a strategic thinking, because textile, leather, maybe carpets, jewelry, it can be easily, supply chain can be easily diverted to Vietnam or some other country, whereas APIs, active pharma ingredients, which nearly 44% of America's generic drugs are supplied by India. The moment you start imposing tariff on them, that's it. Common public will that too, especially flu season is coming in the US, and you are going to have catastrophic effects on America. But it's not that he has imposed tariff only on India, so that Indian textile industries will stall or stagnate. He has imposed tariff on Vietnam also. So the narrow gap is there, which probably the exporting organization to importing organization, they may have some amount of negotiation, and then they'll try to mitigate this. Maybe India can give some subsidy to mitigate this, so that it doesn't have a major GDP impact. But end of the day, this tariff is going to hurt America more than the nations that are getting tariffed. India is going to have a short-term to medium-term impact to the extent of 0.25% of economic growth or GDP growth. We are not talking about that. But imagine this 0.25% is subsidized to an extent by importing Russian oil, $30 billion, we get revenue, and the remaining other, if half of this can be diverted to the different nations, then our exporters are not going to get impacted in a bigger way. But what India is trying to do, India is not blinking. That's the right thing to do. India is not, buckling down under pressure. Instead, India paused all their defense procurements, with Boeing and, other defense equipments. Yes, sir.
Sir, some clarity is needed on that, sir. I think the P9, I think that has been paused, but other things are still going. Some clarity is needed there. People have been saying, no, it's not all true. It's not across the board. I think there are only select things that have been paused there. Over to you.
I think the Striker and Javelin, missile, anti-tank missiles, I think most of that are at least it's an indication, right? Even the P9, because when P8 was inducted into Indian Navy CRG, that enabled security of our borders, right? It was able to monitor, deep into the, our territorial borders of our, ocean territorial borders, right? But, just a message is given. That's all. Message is given. We can take this action. And imagine if pharma ingredients, we slow down, forget about, taking any assertive action. What Modi is doing is he's silently, ignoring Trump, going and meeting Xi Jinping in China. And he spoke to Brazilian Prime Minister. And then I think Japan Prime Minister is going to visit India. Putin is going to visit India. Already Chinese, premier is not Xi Jinping, but, I think finance ministry or someone is visiting India this month. And everything is happening in this month. Very quick succession, all these things are happening. And Modi is visiting at the end of the month. I think Putin could be a last minute Independence Day chief guest, or a guest of honor, that will trigger probably another, each one of the 0.25 25% tariffs, and maybe India will have about 150% tariff. But India, Prime Minister spoke about it in one of the rallies, I think a couple of days back. It can cost my reputation, but will not compromise on Indian agricultural, fisheries and farming industry. GM seeds, we don't want to import GM seeds because already we have a lack of clarity, or our policy is very clear. We will not allow our GM farmers to use genetically modified seeds. And why would I import genetically modified food grains? And what is the sinister plan here, Shriyarji? All these food grains are banned in the US because it has health hazards. But you want Indian consumers to have it so that their pharmaceutical industry can thrive. What a sinister game plan! Likewise, we are not allowing dairy products. We are not opening up our market for dairy products because already India is supplying about 22% of, or producing 22% of global dairy requirements. So we are self-sufficient. Why would we allow some other dairy products? In fact, Australia also, we had a free trade agreement. This was a big stumbling block. Then Australia and New Zealand both agreed to our terms because Australia and New Zealand, another set of countries which has too much of dairy products available in the market, available for export, but we do not want to open up our market for them. I think we need to protect our industry for sure. And what will happen to US economy? Already, Shriyarji, you talked about it. I think there was a video we all saw about it. Banana can be made in US. I think that became a big laughing stock, I'm sure, even to the Americans. Because banana cost, Walmart has increased the price by 8% because the tariff is about 10%. This is what is going to happen. End of the day, is it going to lead into a hyperinflation, Great Depression of 1930s? Maybe a sign of that Trump wants to show every one of the millennials and then youngsters who have not seen 1930 Great Depression, we have only read about it, want to show that impact to us. Maybe, but end of the day, 2026, I think, is the Congress, 50% of the Congress is going for polling, right, Shriyarji?
Yeah.
Okay. That will decide.
Sir, not 50%, sir. All of it, sir. Congress, all of them have to. 2 years, Congress, every 2 years they have to get re-elected.
Okay, 2 years.
They are in 100% campaign mode, sir. They get elected, 2 months they'll take time off, then back to campaigning. Over to you, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, 2026, right? It is on 2026?
2026, yes. Just in about 12 months. Yeah.
12 months. It's not too far. And Trump will not get re-elected because already in the second term. But the Republicans are politicians. I think they are going to be, the biggest pushback. Trump is going to get a biggest pushback from them, and not by the countries which are getting tariffed. I want to pause here, sir. The economic impact is going to be a short-term derailment. Short-term to medium-term adjustments have to be taken for the loss of GDP. Certain industries like textile, jewelry, leather need to be protected a little more because of who are getting impacted. Finally, IT industry. That's something that we all need to think about. For sure, Trump will come heavily on them. Because he's not going to levy any tariff on them, but they are going to make this very, very difficult for visa regulation. Already, you and I talked about it just before the show that there is a H1B restrictions are getting into play, and visa restrictions would come in, and is going to make the life miserable for the Fortune 500 companies who actually are using the Indian IT brains, okay? And they cannot be replaced overnight. For that, at least textile, you have a supply chain from Vietnam and Bangladesh. And maybe leather goods, you have a supply from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other countries. But IT supplies, you don't have a replacement overnight for this volume. But it is going to, hard negotiations are going to happen. Deals are going to become little more, struggle. But we will sail through is my feeling.
Thank you
I'll
so much,
pause
sir.
it.
We have a few questions. A small request
Sure.
to you, 30 seconds per answer, sir, because I would like to
Yeah.
see as many as possible.
Sure, sir.
First one from SK Digital. Why is no one taking action on him seriously, Rahul Gandhi? Don't think Papu as Papu. It might be a facade, as every day something or other protest issues are emerging from each part of Bharat.
So, SK Digital, absolutely. That's what I said. The anger is not against Rahul today. It is against the ECI. Why are they not filing a suit and then bringing him to the court? Let him come to the court and then get, either he proves it or he apologizes, issues one more apology. Humiliate him on every occasion. I think BJP, forget about, this is not a BJP stuff war, especially with respect to the election. It is an election commission's credibility at stake. And, I think they need to come heavily on Rahul Gandhi. Hope they will do it.
Next question. Pawan Kishore wants to know, is India Alliance trying to create Bangladesh-like coup, which is impossible to happen in India? I told you about this.
Yes,
We talked about this.
We talked about it. Definitely, they are trying to do that, and then it's not going to happen because Bangladesh, can be controlled because of certain religious sentiments. India cannot get in, and our defense system, our defense personnel are not interested in the coup. They actually will protect.
Next question from Raj Malik. If Raga does not sign declaration within a week, can EC not file a defamation suit against him?
Criminal suit. It's not a defamation, sir. They can file a criminal FIR, criminal conspiracy FIR. They have the right to do that, and they have to do that. If they don't, then EC is in the back foot.
Pawan Kishore again. Indian electoral system needs improvements. Automatic removal of any existing voter if a citizen wants to enroll at all other state, and proper document verification after SIR all over the country. Basically, what he's saying is SIR should be in effect, so that it's always on. It's not like you need to have a special.
I think digitally we need to make this impact for sure, Pawan. And Aadhaar linkage is going to be another tool towards that, so that Aadhaar verification, so that when you move Aadhaar, automatically your electoral roll also gets moved. I think that should be done definitely.
Next question from Shyam Tarun. BJP thinks RG is helping them win, but do they not know? Do they not have issues? At least can't they mute him? That is, mute Raga.
See, Rahul Gandhi definitely helps BJP win elections, because more he opens his mouth, more
Wali.
Wali. Yeah, Wali. That's what I referred to BJP as Wali of Ramayana, and then Rahul Gandhi opposing. That is why he's changing the track. So he's not opposing the BJP now. He's opposing, challenging the credibility of the ECI, Election Commission. I think the moment he starts challenging, and then if he is not taken head on, he will continue to do that, create this doubt in people's mind. A wavering mind will easily get flipped. I think EC should take this into cognizance.
Next question, Shyam Tarun, thank you so much. Sir, SS, enjoy listening to you. Glad you are back. Thank you so much, Shyam. Next question from Dilip Chanchani, I think. When will be the right time for Modi to start talking about Ghar Wapsi? I think this will be in the back of his mind. Your views?
Sir, I think Modi should not talk about Ghar Wapsi. You are talking about Ghar Wapsi of converted people to back to India, actually back to Hindu. I think Modi should not talk about it, or BJP should not talk about it. That should be the job of RSS, in my opinion, because RSS is a cultural heritage organization. BJP is a political organization. The political organization should be for everybody in the country. And RSS is a cultural and heritage-driven organization, is for the Hindus, and they should take that initiative. And Modi should not talk about it, or BJP even as a political party should not talk about it, in my humble opinion.
That brings us to a close of today's program, sir. Thank you so much. And as always, viewers will be here on Saturdays at 9 a.m. with Sriram Seshadri, time permitting. And sir, we are coming back in a few minutes in Tamil. Totally different set of, some topics are same, but some are different. Very interesting developments in Tamil Nadu. Those of you who can understand Tamil, please come back and join us. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskaram.